Okay, and this is one of the most expensive shopping areas in the world.
In the world, yeah.
Gucci, Prada, that's like nothing there. And welcome to Switzerland, the country of mountains, cheese, chocolate, and money. And we're in Zurich, one of the most expensive cities in the world, but also one of the most livable ones. And we really want to find out what's it like living here. What's it like living in a city where I can't even pay McDonald's? Why is everything so expensive here? Do you know? Let's find us a local and let's really find out what it means to live in one of the most expensive cities in the world. Switzerland is a special country. It's in Europe, yet not part of the European Union. Tucked away between mountains, this country of 8.5 million people has always taken pride in being as neutral as possible. They love to do their own thing. It's like the older brother of Europe who's just too cool to play Lego with the rest.
No! God, please, no! No!
TOBI, a Swiss born in Zurich, was however so kind to give me a temporary seat at the big boy table and show me a glimpse of what it means to live in maybe the most expensive country in the world. I've seen the prices, and this is one of the first things we hear about Switzerland.
Yeah, I knew we would get
And just looking at this, I'm bleeding Swiss franc. So for us, it's always like, yeah, in Switzerland, everybody is just vintage. But no, I mean, of course, there's people like, like we have in this case, who don't have a work, who get help by this workplace. This place I am talking about is the Café Zeringer. They try to help people out of unemployment, giving them a job at their place. So if my YouTube career fails, come to see me there. Switzerland is expensive. Actually no, regarding on what ranking you look at, it's the most expensive country in the world. Remember how the world always thinks Germans are rich? An employee in a software company in Germany would earn less than a janitor in Switzerland. What would be a low-paying wage?
I was 18 years old and I was paid 18 francs per hour for that job.
Okay.
So that was cleaning tables.
Average salary per year is around $66,000. But don't get too excited. The cost of living is also extremely high.
Lunch, even in a decently priced place like this, it will set me back 27 francs just for the food.
For the food, yeah.
And
this is a local place, right? Like this is not a crazy place. Like this is just normal.
Yeah, I mean, if you walk around in this central area of town, I challenge you to find prices that are cheaper. And kebab. There's kebab.
Yeah, there's always kebab.
And even that, and maybe that's the best comparison. You will have trouble finding one for 8 francs by now,
really?
Probably.
So now let's mess with your head a bit. Zurich is one of the most expensive cities in the world. You know what else it is known for? Being among the top 5 most livable cities in the last year. For outsiders, it's high price. Even for Germans, everybody always thinks, oh, the Germans, no, this is expensive for Germans. But still, wages are super high here, and it's one of the most livable cities in the world, which I find so cool. You know, like, it's this contrast of, on the one side, it's very expensive, but on the other side, it's super livable. And like, just walking around and being here, it feels super, super nice. Like, it literally is like a big village in a way, I feel.
It is somehow, yeah. I mean, people come here from Munich, they tell me, I miss the big city. For us, this is the big city.
450,000 live in Zurich. This is Switzerland's biggest city. But I didn't come here for crying about money that I don't have. I came here to become as Swiss as possible. And how do you do that? By eating.
So what you're eating is called Rösti. It's a typical Swiss dish. It's grated potatoes and done perfectly in a frying pan. Okay. This is actually an art, preparing this piece.
Yeah?
Which I have not mastered myself yet. Yeah, because you
what
need...
What kind of Swiss are you, Toby?
I know.
Rösti is made in a frying pan. When one side is done, you flip it over. And that's the art. If the lower part is not baked enough during the flip, it will fall apart like my dreams. And they put egg on there?
Egg on top,
and of course... I have to play with this, you know, of course. The cheese.
Yeah, the cheese.
The mountain cheese.
Yeah. Okay, there are, but there's almost no Swiss dish that doesn't involve cheese in any way.
What would I say for let's enjoy?
Anguette.
Anguette. Zurich is a very unique place. It's beautiful with its old buildings. It has narrow pathways which make it feel like a small village. And then you have the big banks and insurance companies there. making it one of the financial hubs in the world. And clocks. Lots of clocks. Because there's one thing that the Swiss find immensely important.
I mean, we talked about punctuality before. It's expected from you, and most people are punctual.
I would be 5 minutes late. Would I already be texting like, hey guys, I'm gonna be late?
I think it depends on your friends, but yeah, typically you would start texting before you're actually late.
Okay.
I made you wait 8 minutes today, and I feel so sorry.
That's okay, because I'm always late, so that's okay. I've been like, it's okay. Bankers discussing how they can prevent or start a new financial crisis. You never know. Money seems to be everywhere here. Yet there's one thing you absolutely do not do.
What's typical around here is that you don't typically talk about money. There's the cliche, and I feel like it's at least partially true that people don't like to talk about their wages. That was really hard for me growing up. Yeah.
Money plays a big role, especially in Zurich, because there's so many banks, right? And so many work in the financial industry, and you see a lot of sports cars here.
You do.
So it's interesting that it's not talked about in a way.
I think, yeah, you show that you that you have money, but you don't talk about it.
Yeah, sports car, there we go.
Tidy. Yeah. So I guess, yeah, for people who show their sports car, they're telling you, I have a lot of money, or I'm in a lot of debt. Sometimes you don't know.
Zurich, one of the most livable cities. But why? TOBI put me on a bike, and after 5 minutes, we were out of the city. A place where I could finally show how cool I am. This is not a war zone here.
No, it's not.
But these are gunshots.
These are actually gunshots, yeah.
What's happening?
A lot of young people and also older people are in those groups called Schützenverein. This is a shooting range, yeah, and they don't practice normally for the war, because Switzerland is too small anyway. We don't have a chance, and we're very neutral.
And Germany never conquered you, so
they didn't.
Yeah, so.
And we were prepared.
I know. Not this time. That's why I'm here.
There's people practicing for sports purposes.
Well, let's continue, otherwise they start shooting at me. Biggest armies in the world? US, China, Russia, and Switzerland. With 360,000 soldiers at the ready, the Swiss have one of the larger armies in the world. And it's part of every Swiss man's life from 18 to 20. Of course, it's also one of the most expensive armies. I'm telling you, everything is expensive here. We just were in the mountains, now we're at the lake. This is the Gold Coast, right? There's two sides of the lake.
Yes.
The Gold Coast, which is like where the sun hits, the evening sun.
Yes.
Where if you have a lot of money, this is where you buy your property. And if you're still rich, but you don't have that much money, you go over there, which is called the
Knieselküste.
Knieselküste. Which Knieselküste.
Yeah, perfect. Which Kniesel means cold in Swiss German, like having a cold. Yeah. Because they don't get the evening sun, so they will catch the cold much faster. As I told you before about life quality, I think that's just one of those things that really makes Zurich Zurich. You go to any corner and there's something amazing that you can do for free.
Foreigners make up almost 26% of the whole population, a huge number, which also led to some debate in the country. I wanted to hear the story of an immigrant as well, so I met Laura, an Italian-born who came in the country when she was 20 years old, and now proudly calls herself half Italian, half Swiss. What is typical Swiss mentality?
Swiss people were always very busy. Well, nowadays they still are. Yeah. Usually very planned, you know. If you want, shall we see each other tomorrow? No, hang on, I just get my agenda. And then they start to go in 1 month or maybe 1.5 months, and then you write down, okay, in 1 month, if it's not possible earlier on. And I couldn't understand this because I was used to a big group of friends in Italy. Many people together, you could just ask tomorrow, okay, tomorrow is fine, let's see each other. And here everything planned, everything organized, and so it took me a while to get this organization.
For the time here, I want to become as much Swiss as possible. So what's one thing
Do you have an agenda to take appointment?
Let me check
Yeah,
my
well,
phone.
nowadays you need one.
Okay, perfect. Yeah, there we go. That's so interesting. Yeah, okay. Zurich, Switzerland. A city that has the charm of a village. Last fun fact, Switzerland has 4 official languages. Yes, you heard correctly. 4 official languages. And even though German is one of them, I couldn't understand a word of Swiss German. It's like they invented a whole new language.
What the fuck is this? I don't know.
That did not stop me from trying to greet everyone I met though.
You say hello by saying grüezi.
Grüezi.
Well done.
So that's it. My time at the big boy table is up. If you enjoyed, give us a like. Until next time.